Peace and blessings. Dharma Shakti here. Happy Monday. Welcome to Monday Message. Thank you for tuning in. It is Monday again. So I'm here to drop you a little bit of inspiration and a little bit of a theme for you to go about your week and to contemplate as you journey through yet another week in the year. You know, we have 52 weeks a year, and we should utilize those weeks wisely, because those weeks, one by one, they go away, and time is the only resource that is not renewable. So with that being said, I'd love to share this quote with you, another great quote that just really struck a chord with me. I could relate to this one because I was just sort of living in a place that, that was relatable to this quote. So let me share it with you. This quote is from Brendan Burchard, an amazing individual, and he says, "If you leave your life up to randomness, you will always live in the field of mediocrity." Ooh, I'll say it again. If you leave your life up to randomness, you will always live in the field of mediocrity. Now look, I know that none of us want to live a mediocre life. Many of us, I would probably say all of us, we all want more out of life. We all want to really step into our greatness and our potential. And we all know that there is some kind of greater potential within us. And we strive and we desire, or we think about, or we contemplate, is there more? Could I be doing more? Could I be living more? Could I have more? Could I achieve more? And the answer is yes. The problem is that most of us are leaving our lives up to randomness. And what that means is that we are not scheduling out our week. We're not setting goals for we're not setting deadlines for our goals, right? So if you have a dream, it's just a dream. If you have a dream that you've put a deadline to, it now becomes a goal. And so it's really, really important that we don't just allow those dreams to be off in some far future of ours that we're never ever quite getting towards. It's important that we map out, even if it's a 10-year plan, these sort of deadlines of where we want to be in the next year. What do I need to establish now in order to take that next step? And then once I get to that next step, what is the next step? And it doesn't mean that we have to have all the pieces and that we need to know every single how it's going to happen. But if we're not planning and strategizing and being productive with our day and our week and our month and our year, pretty soon the years go by and we look back and we think, wow, I had that dream and I've had it for so long and I still haven't done anything with it. I'm sure you can relate to this. We all can relate to this. And this is why I'm sharing this quote with you, right? We don't want to leave our life up to randomness. If you have a dream, if you have a desire, if you have an ambition or a goal that is swimming around in your mind all the time or floating around in the heart quite a bit, have some strategy around it. Even if it's a loose strategy, even if it is not a full picture of the strategy, take time to write some steps out and set a deadline for yourself. We cannot live in a field of randomness and expect our lives to be great. We're allowing the happenings and the circumstances of life to sort of direct where we go. It's like allowing the wind to guide our journey. It's going to be random and it's going to feel chaotic, and some days it'll be okay because the wind isn't blowing too hard, and some days we're going to just feel battered by the crazy winds that come at us. And we need to have strategy. We need to have planning. We need to have some sense of organization of where we're going and what we're doing and how we are spending our time. Now, it's okay to have free time and spontaneous time. It's okay to have those things. But if you really want to live into your greatness, you need to start having some kind of plan. Now, I recommend that you just take time at the end of your week. Maybe the end of your week is on a Sunday, or for me, at the beginning of my week, which is a Monday, where I guess that's technically the end of my week, it's my day off, that you take one day out of the week, is what I'm trying to say, one day out of the week where you can sort of map out what your week is going to look like. We call this block times. So if you want to start increasing your productive output it's important that you block your time. You block out schedules for the week. So I may have Monday, the whole day is just blocked out for my day off, but I might kind of scribble some things in that block of like things that I want to get done. I will block out tasks that I need to do. I'll block out time to like do emails. You just block out chunks of time to do your regular stuff that you have to do. And what you'll notice is there is a lot of open space in your schedule. And within that open space is where now you get to narrow in and go, okay, I have 3 extra hours here on this day. I'm gonna start visioning and writing out for that goal of mine, for that dream of mine, for that business that I want to start, or for that vacation that I want to take, or for whatever that big thing is that you want to do, or maybe it's a small thing. It doesn't matter. The point is that we have to start having strategy around the way that we deal with our time. People like Oprah Winfrey, Lewis Howes, Rachel Hollis, Jay Shetty, all these amazing people, they have the same 24 hours in their day that you and I have. The only difference is how they manage those 24 hours in their day. We often say we wish there was more time in the day, but I guarantee you that is really not what you want. They say more money, more problems. I think more time, more stress. And so what we really need is having a plan and a strategy with how we use our time. Have you ever had those days where, you have your to-do list and you feel like you've checked a lot of things off that to-do list, but yet you feel like you didn't really get much done? Now, those day-to-day to-dos are necessary and we should get them done, but it'll leave you feeling quite unproductive. Right? I feel that way where I'm like, God, I got a lot of to-dos off my list, but I didn't really move the big projects forward, the ones that matter to me, the ones that may really increase my financial freedom, or the ones that may really give me a lot more time in my calendar because I, arrange things a certain way. We want to be strategic about having what we call productive output. So it's one thing to be productive and check things off the list. I did the dishes, I did the laundry, I cleaned the house. Those are all great and necessary for a healthy lifestyle. We should definitely be doing those things, and some of us are blessed enough to outsource those things. But what we also need to have is those big projects that are calling you, that workshop that you wanted to create, that marketing campaign that you wanted to send out, the going down to the city to talk about whatever kind of licensing you needed or permits you needed to start that business or to put on that event, right? Those are the big things that we need to pay attention to and make sure that we schedule in our day or our week. And so I really, really, really encourage you to start looking at your week and creating what we call block times. This is something that I often do with my coaching clients, and they get a lot of benefit out of this particular tool. So if you are interested in how to do block times or what kind of resources that you may need for it, don't hesitate to shoot me an email, and I would love, love, love to send you my little spreadsheet that I use to create my block times for the week. And then what that does is I can look at my week after the week is over, and I can reflect wow, I really stuck to my schedule and I did these things and I feel really great about the progress that I made. Or I can look at it and go, ooh, wow, I really did not stick to that schedule and I didn't make any progress, and this is why I feel so overwhelmed, or I feel so shitty about my output for this week. I feel usually what it does is it impacts my confidence, right? Because I'm living out of alignment of the things that I value most, which is being productive, being engaged, being disciplined, and really authentically showing up to my dreams and my visions and my goals. And look, I struggle with this topic too, which is why I'm sharing this video with you. All these videos that I make are quotes that resonate with me because there are things that I also struggle with, and I can only share with you what I've experienced. And so I'm sharing things with you that I'm learning along the way that I wish I would have learned a lot sooner, because I just would love to pay it forward to those of you out there watching on the World Wide Web. So Take time to have a better strategy with how you deal with your time, especially if you got a lot going on. Right? I'm a mom and a business owner, and I have many facets to my business. I'm an entrepreneur, I have a husband, and I have children, and I have friends who all want my time and a piece of me, and places that I need to be, and things that I need to do. I have clients that I work with, and so for me, when I block time my week out, I have so much more peace of mind, and I feel so much more sane. And when I don't, I feel like a totally different person in a not good way. And lately I've been catching myself going, why do I feel so cranky? Why do I feel so grumpy? Why do I feel so frustrated? Oh man, I've fallen off course with the practices and the tools that help me stay grounded and sane in the midst of all the things that I'm doing. Many, many, many of you that I meet out there in the real world ask me, how do you do everything that you do? Well, for a while, I was just flying by the seat of my pants, and I can tell you that that is not the way to do it. You will burn out in a hot second, as I did. And if you don't have the deep, deep passion and drive to keep going, you're going to give up. Luckily for me, I'm very, very motivated. I'm very motivated to serve those of you that show up on the mat with me or show up to these videos. And so I have been really trying to dive into tools that allow me to show up even bigger and better for all of you. And so now I'm sharing those tools with you. I'm sharing with you what helps me. So how do I do it now? I delegate things, right? But I also don't leave my life up to randomness. I plan things in my week, in my month, and I plan out my year. Now that doesn't mean like every single thing is scheduled, but I go month by month, all the big activities that I'm doing. These months I have my teacher training. These months I have off. These months I am doing festivals. This month I'm doing my retreats. This month I'm doing, my workshops. And I have to kind of look at the big picture of my year, and then within that I can start to strategize even more finite month to month and week to week. Now, I'm not an expert at it. I struggle with it, but I can tell you when I do it, my peace of mind and my sanity are off the charts. And when I don't do it, my frustration and my crankiness and my overwhelm, and then therefore not being able to make choices or make good choices, also is off the charts. So take it from somebody who has a lot going on. Do not leave your life up to randomness. You do not want to live a mediocre life. Nobody wants to live a mediocre life. We all want to shine in our greatness, every single one of us, and we all deserve to do it. It's all of our birthright to do it, but that doesn't mean that it's just going to come easy or that it's just going to happen. We have to earn it. We have to really find the grit within ourselves to hunker down and do the good work that gets us there. And so strategizing and planning out your week is going to do that for you. So I highly recommend that you take time to just look at your schedule for the next week and create a little, a to-do list for every day. That's a great place to start. Maybe you want to start doing block times, or, you use your iCalendar or your Google Calendar to kind of put in what you got going on every day and looking at that. And then take those big projects that you either want to work on or are trying to work on or are working on, and make sure that you schedule in time throughout your week, even if it's just once a week, to do those things. It will change your life. I guarantee you 100% it will change your life. Like I said, I work with my coaching clients with this particular topic, and it usually is a huge game changer for them. One last tip I'll leave you with that really helped me out, because I'm a paper and pen person. I'm very visual and I have to see it. So in my office, I have a bunch of big whiteboards, and each whiteboard is dedicated to something different. So I have, like, my yoga studio has a whiteboard, my Dharma projects has a whiteboard, I have a whiteboard for retreats, and then I just have a personal to-do list on my whiteboard for just other random things. And then I can, as I'm remembering them or as I'm brainstorming about things, I can write my to-do list for each of those projects on each of those whiteboards so that I can look at them. And then I may schedule a block time for 2 hours to work on a particular whiteboard. So I may give 2 hours on a Thursday to go over all the studio stuff I have to handle. And I may, schedule block time on a Friday to, masterminding and brainstorming for my retreats. And so it starts to go like this, and you begin to sort of organize all the many, many things that you have to do. Look, life is busy, and there's so much happening nowadays, and it's not going to go away. More and more and more is coming at us so fast. And so your only option is to either get swallowed up by the overwhelm, or to have a strategy and a plan and get organized with your time. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, and yet some of us are stepping into our greatness. Why is that? Because they don't leave their life up to randomness, right? They schedule things and they make plans for things. It doesn't mean that you can't be spontaneous. In fact, I have found that when you plan things out, it actually makes more time to be that free-spirited, spontaneous person. I guarantee you this will give you so much more peace of mind, and it will help you sleep better at night. So again, if you want that little Excel spreadsheet that I've created for myself to do your block times, drop me a DM or an email through my website. If you're watching this on the blog, you can find my website. We'll make sure to put it in the post here. And I will be more than happy to send you that little spreadsheet. All right, my friends, I hope that you have an amazing week, and I hope that this information has helped you. Do not leave your life up to randomness, because you will always be mediocre. Start strategizing about your life and your goals and your dreams, because your greatness awaits you. Have a beautiful week. Please share this message with somebody who you think is overwhelmed and could use this message. Keep your heads up and your heart open wide, and I will see you next time. Namaste.